ARMY can't stop smiling. Taehyung's energy during Hooligan practice fills the room with pure positivity. Hello ARMY. Welcome back to BTS Fans channel. This time, I want you not just to watch, but to truly step inside. Deeper than before. Slower. Closer. More honest. As if you're standing there, in the corner of that practice room, watching everything without distance. Imagine this again. The same room. A large mirror reflecting every movement. A slightly cold floor. An air filled with steady breaths. The music hasn't started yet, but the atmosphere already feels alive. And in the middle of it all, Taehyung stands there in a way that feels strangely calm. Not an empty calm, but a calm that's full. As if there's something inside him, ready to burst into energy at any moment. He might glance down for a second, adjust his stance, or simply look at his reflection, not to check his appearance, but as if he's quietly speaking to himself. Then the music begins, and within seconds, everything changes. His body starts moving, not like someone remembering choreography, but like someone who has already become part of the music itself. Every beat is not just heard, but felt, and you can see it. His steps don't hesitate. His turns don't feel stiff. Even the smallest movements, like a slight lift of his shoulder, or a relaxed motion of his hand, feel like they carry meaning. And among all of that, there's one thing that keeps appearing. A smile. Not a big, showy smile meant to impress, but a small one that appears without him even realizing it. The kind of smile that only shows up when someone is truly enjoying the moment. And at that point, ARMY starts to feel something. Because that kind of happiness can't be hidden. It naturally comes through, spreading without permission. At one part of the practice, Taehyung might repeat the same move over and over. Once, twice, 3 times. And each time, he finds a new way to make it feel more alive. Sometimes he lets out a small laugh, as if there's something amusing in the process. Sometimes he shakes his head slightly, not out of frustration, but because he knows he can do better. And when the movement finally feels right, his reaction is simple. A smile again. But this time, more satisfied, more genuine. And small moments like that are what make this feel so big. Because that's where you see, this isn't just about the final result. It's about the journey. About every small effort, done with heart. On the other side, the people around him can probably feel that energy too. Because Taehyung's energy doesn't stay still. It moves. It spreads, filling the room, turning what was once ordinary into something lighter, warmer, more alive. And without needing many words, everyone can feel it. There's a moment when he pauses, stands still, and takes a deeper breath. Sweat starts to show. His breathing gets heavier. But strangely, his face doesn't show exhaustion. What you see instead is satisfaction. A quiet kind of pride that doesn't need to be announced. As if he's saying silently, this is fun. And maybe that's the key. A lot of people can work hard. A lot of people can be disciplined. But not everyone can stay happy in the middle of the process. Not everyone can smile when things get repetitive. When the body starts to feel heavy. When the same move has to be done again and again. And Taehyung does it in such a natural way. Not exaggerated. Not forced. Just real. There's no pressure in his expression. No sign of trying too hard. Only someone who is completely present in the moment. When the music starts again, he steps back into the rhythm. This time, freer, bolder, lighter, somehow. As if the practice room has turned into his own little stage. As if no one is watching. And yet, everyone is. As if he's no longer thinking about whether the moves are perfect, but more about how they feel. And that's when something different appears. Something subtle, but impossible to ignore. His movements aren't just good to watch. They feel alive. They breathe. They flow. From one moment to the next. Without hesitation. Like a story that keeps unfolding. Without needing words. And without realizing it. ARMY watching gets pulled in. Slowly. Gently. Not just watching the dance, but feeling the emotion inside it. Feeling the small joy hidden between each step. A quiet happiness slowly begins to grow. Not explosive, not dramatic, but steady, consistent, like a soft light that keeps getting brighter without ever hurting the eyes. And the longer it goes, the stronger it feels, until suddenly you realize you're smiling too. For no specific reason. Just because. Maybe that's why. A simple practice video can make so many people smile. Because what they're seeing isn't just an idol. Not just a performer. But someone who truly loves what he's doing. Someone who finds joy, even in repetition, even in effort, even in the smallest details. And that love is clearly visible in the way he moves, in the way he laughs, in the way he pauses for a second, just to catch his breath, then jumps right back in again, in the way he enjoys every second, as if each second matters. Taehyung doesn't need a big stage to shine. He doesn't need loud cheers or flashing lights. Even in a simple practice room with plain walls and nothing extraordinary around him, he creates moments. Moments that feel real. Moments that feel close. Moments that feel honest. Moments that make ARMY feel connected. As if there's no distance at all. As if the screen disappears. And suddenly, they're right there. Standing just a few steps away. Watching it happen in real time. Hearing the sound of his footsteps. The faint echo of the music. The quiet rhythm of effort and joy mixing together. And at the end of the practice, when the music slowly fades, and the room returns to silence, one feeling remains. Warm, light, and hard to explain. A kind of calm that lingers longer than expected. Taehyung might just stand there, wiping his sweat, fixing his hair, or casually looking around, like it was just another ordinary practice. But the energy he leaves behind is still there, still lingering, in the air, in the moment, in the hearts of those watching. And ARMY is still smiling. Not because something big happened. Not because there was a dramatic highlight. But because they just witnessed a simple kind of happiness. One that's genuine. One that isn't forced. One that doesn't try to impress. Yet somehow leaves the deepest impression. And maybe, That's what makes this moment so special. Not how perfect the moves are. Not how flawless the performance looks. But how real the feeling is. How honest it feels. From beginning to end. Because in the end, what stays with us isn't just what we see, but what we feel. And in this moment, Taehyung made everyone feel the same thing. A quiet joy. A soft warmth. Happiness. Without a complicated reason. Something simple, yet unforgettable. Thank you for watching. And see you in the next story, ARMY.